Hey, welcome back to Matter of Fact. Today we got for y'all Like Love Lock Week 12. We got 6 games missing. Well, 6 teams, 3 games missing. And yeah, things are heating up with the playoff race and all that, and the Tank Bowl or the Tank Race. But yeah, Austin, why don't you kick us off with your picks, man? Interested to
All
see
right.
what you got to say.
So I guess this would be like the like of the week. My like of the week is this right here: San Francisco 49ers versus Green Bay at a plus 5.5. I know Brock Purdy's out, but right now, um, I think that San Francisco's still going to have a solid game plan in terms of Kyle Shanahan and all the other weapons that they have on that offense. I think that they make Christian McCaffrey and George Kittle heavily involved in the offense, and I think that the starting quarterback, which is going to be Brandon Allen, is going to be good enough to get them the ball within the scheme of the offense. And right now, Green Bay is not really playing too well, and I think that with all those, it's going to create a close game. And the fact that San Francisco kind of has to have this game in order for them to still compete within their division and try to be considered for that wild card spot. I think they come in and they're able to steal one, or not steal one, but they're able to cover on the road against Green Bay.
Okay, so you got the Niners to cover.
Yeah, I got the Niners to cover, and like I got
That's
like,
like that's you believing in Kyle Shanahan.
well, also, you know what I'm saying. I was looking at some insights, and like one of them I saw was Jordan Love has recorded a 43% completion percentage and is a negative 8.4 completion percentage over expected passes under pressure. And basically, what they're saying is that ranks second lowest to Gardner Minshew. So, like, if you're able to get pressure on him, he's kind of trash. And I think that San Francisco is going to
Repeat
need.
that stat. I think that would be real interesting to highlight.
Well, yeah,
Like,
it's just
run, give me-
so like, okay.
yeah,
Well,
break that down.
Jordan Love has recorded a 43.8% completion percentage and a negative 8.4 completion percentage over expected on passes under pressure this season, both which rank second lowest in the NFL, second to Gardner Minshew.
Mm,
You know what I mean? So
okay.
I just think like they're going to be able to play defense well enough for it to be a back and forth game where, just because they don't have their starting quarterback, I don't think San Francisco is going to ever completely be out the game this week. You know what I mean? And
Yeah, I feel
it has a
that.
little bit it has a little bit to do with San Francisco, but it also has a little bit to do with Jordan Love and how he's playing right now. You know what I mean? So just between the both of them, I think you're getting a lot of value with that plus 5.5 right now. And as for the props in that game, I think I would consider honestly, I think I would just consider what's his name? I just said it, George Kittle. I think this is like going to be a George Kittle game where
Need it to be
he's
for fantasy.
yeah. Okay, yeah. So it's like, yeah, I think this would be a good week for you to have George Kittle on your fantasy team. And
Yeah,
then
I agree with that because when it comes to George Kittle fantasy owners, I know you might be like, damn, Brock Purdy's out, but when you think of a backup quarterback, who's their security blanket? Running backs out the flat and just tight ends in general, big body tight ends. And Kittle, shit, he's going to get that yak. This is the yak Niners, so already
yeah,
know how that goes.
yeah, and I mean, like he's just the team is literally better when he's on the field. Even when it comes to when he's not getting the ball, even blocking, they average like 3.5 yards a carry when he's not on the field, and then when he's on the field, they average close to 5 yards per carry.
How would you rank the hierarchy of importance for the Niners in terms of their weapons between Kittle, Ayuk, Samuel, McCaffrey?
I mean, I think for sure, obviously, I think Kettle and Christian McCaffrey, you can make an argument that one of them could be 1A,
A, one
1B, or
B.
1 and 2, whatever. But definitely after that, I think Brandon Ayuk or that type of player is very important, which is why I think Juan Jennings is able to do what he's doing. And then, I think Debo comes fourth just because he's perfect to have if somebody's missing and or in certain games when you want to implement them. But right now, when you have a backup quarterback, I don't know he might be he was the odd
Oh,
man out.
I didn't mean with a backup, just in general. Like, if let's
Oh,
say everybody was healthy, because Ayuk is out.
yeah. I obviously, Kittle. I mean, Debo would probably be like third or fourth, but not saying that he's not talented or whatever. But it's just like he's the gadget guy. He's a Swift Army knife, but he's not an X wide receiver or a pass blocking tight end that can also be one of the best tight ends running routes too, leading his team in touchdowns, all these other things. So it's not to say that Debo isn't talented or anything. It's just that those other players are so talented at their positions in regards to the running back and the tight end that it pushes him down a little bit.
Nah, that's how I would rank it too. 1A, 1B. It's hard to say between Kittle and McCaffrey any given Sunday. It could be either of them. And then I think I would have Debo third and then Ayuk fourth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, and then after that, so I like that one. And then I love, I guess, I love this one right here. You guys versus. Well, no, I do. Yeah. Which, and the reason I like this one just because Tampa Bay, the way that they play football, they love scoring points. You know what I mean? Like they love getting it up. They love scoring points. Baker's probably projected. Actually, you know what? No, I take it back. I don't want. I'm sorry. My bad.
Well, where were you going with that anyway? Were you taking the Giants to cover or the Bucks?
No, I was going to take Baker. I was going to take Tampa to cover.
I've seen that play a lot. A lot of people like
that. And it's just because like they like to score points. They average 20 points a game. And I think right now you guys average like 10 points a game. So it's like even if y'all do everything possible to get to 20, it's just like, all right, if y'all got 20, they probably got like 20.
Say 10 points.
You know what I mean? Like they probably got 28. But no, I'm sorry. That was not that was one I was considering. The one that I'm taking right here is Denver Broncos. Is the Denver Broncos. And the reason why I'm taking Denver Broncos here is because let me see, where is it? Bo Nix. Oh, yeah. So right now the Broncos are 5-0 against below 500 teams. And they're 1-5 against teams that are 500 and above. So I just think that because they're playing the Raiders, like they're going to try to smash them out. I mean, Sean Payton already came out and said that if they can smash a team out, they're going to do it. You know what I mean?
And then after he said that, he got smashed out. So he's like, all right, we give it. And you see what they're doing over there in Detroit. Nobody is questioning them over there. Like, Dan Campbell, you don't think that was a little much for you to challenge it in the second half, up 30 points? Right. Yo, he's crazy.
Yeah, so that's one of the plays that I really do love a lot this week, just because also I believe Bo Nix needs 2 more touchdown passes to tie Dak Prescott's rookie record of multiple games with 2 touchdown passes without like an interception or something like that. So I think that Sean Payton's going to also be incentivized to make sure that he gets that for his rookie quarterback that he, stood 10 toes for and all of this stuff. So it's just I could see this being a smash spot for Denver against Vegas. Also, a big factor in this play is that Vegas has 2 starting cornerbacks out.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so they have 2 of their outside cornerbacks out, and their nickel cornerback is questionable. So that's just kind of part of the reason why I decided to pick this one. And I'll go ahead and I actually got a bonus one too, but this is my lock of the week right here. Similar to what you were saying. You know what I mean? They're on a tear, and Indianapolis, they're a solid team. They're good, but when you look at the metrics and you look at this matchup, Detroit just is just too much for them. It's just too much, and it's clear that right now Detroit, they're like, yo, we're staying hot. We're staying hot. We're running our offense. Like, we're going to make sure that when it comes the point in time when it's playoff time, we already know what we're doing. We know where we're going. And here's a few things that Detroit could possibly be playing for in this game. With 2 more touchdown passes, with 2 more Jahmyr Gibbs rushing TDs, he and David Montgomery will become the first teammates to record 10-plus rushing TDs in the same season multiple times. They did that last year, and then obviously if he gets 2 more touchdowns, they'll do it again this year. But then there's more. Jamar Gibbs, David Montgomery, and Amon St. Brown have scored a touchdown in the same game 8 times in their career, the most by any teammate trio in NFL history. So, like, these cats literally, there's been games 8 times when both the running backs have scored a touchdown and Amron scored a touchdown.
That feels like every week. Every week it feels like, bro, should I just be taking all 3 of these niggas in that, like, think about if that's what you were confident in. You're making a lot of money putting up like $10-$20 if you taking the lines to cover and them 3 to score a touchdown. Ain't that crazy?
Yeah. I mean, honestly, like, yeah. And you know, I just like them because they did it. They're not going to stop doing this. If you can't stop them, they're not going to stop themselves. And I really think they're like, yo, we're just running our offense. Like, what are we supposed to do? We're running the football, and y'all can't stop our running. Like, y'all can't stop our running backs.
And then what are we supposed to do? Just run it each time and not pass it just because y'all down? I think that's how they're thinking about it. Like, yo, we're gashing you up. This is a perfect time to do a play action and cook your shit real quick. And honestly, I hope more teams follow Detroit's lead. If you're able to, man, stop us then. Like, this ain't high school football. We're not doing this whole sportsmanship. No, there's no mercy rule for a reason. Ain't no 21 skunk.
Right. And I mean, again, like I said, they're running their offense. There's nothing they can do if their running backs are just unstoppable. Like, there's nothing that they can do if they're running.
Speaking of secondaries, bro, I'm looking at PFF, and they have the number 1 and 2 ranked safety between Kirby Joseph and Brian Branch.
Hey. So, you know what I mean? So I just think that's going to be a tough out for Indianapolis. Let's do a little sprinkle on Josh Downs over in his yards. Obviously, Amon St. Brown, if you want to put them together, cook up a little parlay. So that was the lock of the week, right? And then I do got a bonus one, but again, I'm not putting it on my love lock. You know what I mean?
Okay.
It's going to be.
We won't count it.
But this is going to be the Dallas Cowboys to cover, not to win, but to cover the spread here. And
really?
Yeah, to cover the spread. And the reason that I'm picking them to cover the spread in this game is because not necessarily the Dallas Cowboys, but the Washington Commanders. And I thought this was a very, very interesting stat here. Cliff Kingsbury coached teams are 52-36-1 from August to October, regardless if he's the head coach or if he's an offensive coordinator, since 2013. Okay, so this is 11 years worth of data. He's 18-45 in November or later.
Okay.
All right.
You picking it up with the trend betting. I
do think that's a significant amount of data for one particular.
No. That wasn't like a slide or anything. I think it's important to, when you're looking at the trends, you take a pick that you already like a lot, and then you have supporting evidence versus chasing the trend. You know what I mean?
And then, so that's a trend. But then on top of the trend, we have the Cowboys defense is technically as healthy as it's been this year. We're going to have all 3 of our cornerbacks back. They only have Terry
Bland back?
Bland's back. Yeah, Bland's back. So only Terry McLaurin is their only playmaker on the outside. Yes, I will agree that the Dallas Cowboys struggle in the run game. However, they have kind of over the weeks they've kind of gotten better. Like, I don't want to say they've gotten better, but they've found.
Definitely from the beginning of the year, like where
they're not really gashing you up. Yeah, we're not ranked 32nd anymore. You know what I'm saying? They're like ranked in like the 20s now. So that's something to consider. And I just think that this is a game where actually Dallas, the people on the defensive side of the ball, will be getting up for to prove a point to Dan Quinn. You know what I mean?
Right.
And obviously, I think that Dallas doesn't have enough on offense to kind of like score points, but there's a game plan. There is a scenario where you just make this just a rugged, rough and tough game, and you got Brandon Aubrey as your kicker. Pittsburgh be winning games, kicking 6 field goals. Why don't you just play like that? We're going to just run the ball.
Not to mention, we've seen the Commandos struggle in the red zone plenty of times. I mean, the
Well,
Giants, the first time we played them, they beat us the same way the Steelers beat the Ravens. No touchdowns, all field goals. And I've seen plenty of those games where I think the Bears game was kind of like that too, where they were having difficulties in the red zone.
and wouldn't you make the argument? Wouldn't you make the argument that they really haven't had a good game since they beat Carolina?
Hey man, look, you're preaching to the choir, bro.
Oh no. Well, I'm just
I'm saying like, I'm. That's how much I agree with you. I'm like, yes,
yeah.
yes, like,
you know what I mean?
yes, like,
yeah. So you know what I'm saying? Obviously, I don't want to make that a part of the bet because that's my team and everything like that. And it's one thing when I make a part of the bet and I say that they're getting smashed out. People love to hear that. But people don't like to hear me say that they could cover. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, you're being a homer. Da, da, da. But bro, the data, the information, Cliff Kingsbury's resume, Dan Quinn's resume. You know what I mean? It all kind of points towards this being the one time where Dallas doesn't get smashed out by an opponent. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And
I like it.
A rookie quarterback getting 11 points.
11 points is crazy, bro. 11 points is crazy because, I guess the spreads every week, and I'm curious to what I had this at. Like,
and for the people out there, because I know, they like to say, oh, like this is not a rivalry, yo. Like I just want to let people, I want to make sure people know this is not a rivalry. All right. This is not a rivalry. Dallas, Washington in 2020, right? Dallas, Washington at the last game of the year, Dallas. Okay, so this is not no rivalry. This is just belt to ass. They actually want to whoop the hell out of us. I just think that they're gonna be upset on Sunday because I don't know if they can still win the game, but I don't know if they cover the spread.
So that's interesting because you have the Broncos. So I'm very good at narrative hunting. So I feel like the narrative, if things go how you said they're going to go, is like, man, we might have been overrating Jay Daniels, and then Bo Nix just had 4 touchdowns against the Raiders, and then Drake May put up a good fight against the Dolphins, and we're looking at it like, hey, maybe this shit's a toss up when it comes to rookie quarterbacks.
Well, also, if you want to take it that far, now would be the time to go ahead and put a little bit of bread on Bo Nix for Rookie of the Year.
I could.
You know what I'm saying? Like if that's how you feeling, or like from that narrative standpoint, Jaden Daniels comes out and struggles. I don't even say he loses, but I'm saying they come out and struggle, and then Bo Nix tears up the Raiders. You know what I'm saying? At this point, why would he not be considered in that Rookie of the Year race, along with like neighbors or whatever? But why would you know what I mean? Why would you not consider him?
And then they have the Titans after that, and Will Levis, janky little QB, but it's just another young QB matchup. So
yeah, so
I like it. I mean, I was thinking Commanders to cover, but you kind of talked me out of it. Not like that wasn't going to be one of my picks, but just in terms of like some parlays, I was.
But what you've been seeing though too, like what you've been seeing from Dallas. If I didn't give you that breakdown and rundown of that analysis, I feel like why would you not feel that? Like we got smacked out the past 2-3 games. Both them teams got to 34. You know what I mean? So it's like
another thing about Dan Quinn making his return, or is it home for y'all?
Nah, we're in Washington.
And then y'all got to turn around, come back home, and then we'll be at that game. By the way, we're going to be in Dallas for Thanksgiving, little Friendsgiving, DeVito Rush. Some draft shits. I'm probably gonna be talking to the Cowboys fans a lot of shit about Travis Hunter and whoever they might get. But I kind of went on a tangent, but with Dan Quinn making his return once again, I saw the clip with Micah and I think Diggs talking about how Schultz put up that little trolley thing, from the Texans, and they were I could tell like. They were kind of bothered by that. So this is another team where they have incentive to do some shit because, Texas, Houston, as someone that's been living in Texas for like 3 years now, I could tell you Dallas and Houston just have a little bit of beef outside of football. Like when I was living in Austin, I would ask because I was like, I don't really like Austin. I'm gonna move to either Houston or Dallas. So I was asking people if I talk to someone from Dallas or shitting on Houston and vice versa. So you come from that where your former tight end is talking his shit. Then you have this game against the little bro of the division who gets up for these games and things like that.
I mean, did they get up for these games? The last time they beat us is, you know what I mean? They beat us in 2020 when we were – the last time they essentially beat us is when our team was like that. You know what I'm saying? They beat us in 2020 when we didn't have Tyron Smith, no Zach Martin, no Dak Prescott. That was the year where Dak Prescott had the crazy broken ankle. Ever since
that was the when Cooper Rush had his 6 games or so.
No. That was in 2022. What I'm talking about is in 2020 when we had
2020.
Yeah, and we had Ben DiNucci was the quarterback.
The DiNucci era. Yeah, that boy was ass.
It was a wild time. Trayvon Diggs wore number 27 back then. He was a rookie. You know what I mean? This is a completely different, you know what I'm saying? Ever since when we have the guys, or not even the guys, even when we just have that, it's belt to ass to them boys. Belt to motherfucking ass. This ain't no rivalry, bro. Win a game.
I got you, man. I got you. Now I like it though. I might have to add that, Jordan. Even I might tease it up to 17.5. I'm feeling some teasers this week, but let me share my screen, and then keep your shit in stock, in case I want to talk about some bets and whatnot. But just so I'm in control of what I got going on. All right, so first up, my like of the week. This is a pick I like. I think it's a perfect like spot. Give me the Cardinals in Seattle. The 12-man hasn't been some crazy factor for these boys in terms of injuries on both sides. I think it's kind of a push in terms of an advantage that way. But I'm just done doubting the Cardinals and Kyler Murray. I think, they've arrived and I think they have an identity now. And if you have a healthy McBride, Marvin, James Conner, and Trey Benson starting to get active 2 weeks in a row with 10 or more carries, and so you mix that in with James Conner, the only thing that makes me a little hesitant is the fact that DK being fully back makes this a completely different offense. But I'm just at a spot where I just think the Cardinals are just the best team in this division, flat out. I think they stamp it and prove it here. And Kyler Murray's looking like arguably the best quarterback in the NFC. So
can I add to that right there? If that's how you're feeling. Just to kind of, give you some background on that. I'm glad you brought that game up. So Seattle has won the last 5 games against the Cardinals, and that's the largest streak in matchup history, right? The Cardinals are 5-1 when James Conner has 100+ scrimmage yards, and they're just 1-3 when he doesn't. So what I'm going to do is, because I'm in the same boat as you. I think that they actually pull this one out. But what I'm going to do, since I believe that they're going to win, I'm going to bet James Conner 100+ scrimmage yards. I'm going to bet Trey McBride to score because he hasn't scored a passing touchdown yet this season. And I'm a
at all
Cardinals at all. And I'm gonna bet the Cardinals to win.
Okay, so you're trying to break 2 different trends there with the Trey McBride thing, and then the longest matchup streak, which is crazy. But this is the most consistent that we've seen the Cardinals. So if there's a time to break the streak, why not
now? It'd be now, right? You know what I'm saying? They're going into this game all right, yo, hey, we're ready. We're going to get them. You know what I mean? And again, it's going to be a close game. I don't think it's going to be a smack city spot. But if you're on the side of, I think Arizona's going to win, we might as well kind of try to play into how we believe
how we think they're going to win. Yep.
Right. Yeah.
Sure.
So yeah, I just want to do that.
Yeah, that was amazing, bro. Good shit. Good looks. And they're 7-3 against the spread, where it's not really a spread here to pick them. But yeah, man. And I think the Cardinals have the better coach. I mean, Mike McDonald, even though, they called him Boy Genius, he is a rookie head coach.
Yeah, but I will say that they're coming around.
They are coming around.
That defense is actually, they have 3 players with the most pressures on. They're like top 3 with like 3 DNs with the most pressures in the NFL. It's like only like maybe I can't. The Eagles and maybe like the Rams or something like that. But they're up there. And Will McDonald doesn't have all of his guys yet, but obviously Mike McDonald doesn't have all of his guys yet, but obviously as the season is coming along, they're starting to grasp the defense and understand it a little bit more. But yeah, I still think that the Cardinals play through James Conner and pull this one out.
I got you. You're not scared of the Trey Benson 10 carries thing though?
No, because the way that they play, like you kind of want like you kind of need
a little mix up.
Somebody else to touch the ball. Like, I mean, even if there could be 80 to 90 plays in this game on offense. Who cares if Trey Benson gets 10 touches? You know what I mean? That's not really getting into 25 touches from James Conner.
Right. And yeah, I mean, much respect to how their defense has been playing recently. Like you said, with the pressures and whatnot, McDonald is a defensive coach. That's how he got this job. The way the Ravens defense was looking, and look at how they look now. Their defense is their secondary, especially, is the weakest part of their team. But yeah, man. I mean, I like it a lot. Everything you said there definitely adds to it. But because of their defense, that's why I am a little bit hesitant on this over-under. That's a respect to McDonald and what he's been doing recently. So not sure if I'm going to touch that one. I could see that hitting under. When the midday games, they just seem to happen. These division games, it feels like we get one every week at this window. They just kind of go under. Next up, Giants, Bucks. I'm smashing the over here at 41. Now, there's a lot of factors, right? We have the boy Mike Evans back. He's ever since his rookie year, 1,000-yard seasons since like 2013 or whenever he came into the league, and he's in distance and still striking that despite missing a bunch of games recently. But what our defense and our rookies and just our defense in general, with Shane Bowen, former Titan, DC, doing his thing here, our secondary is the weakest part of our defense. We have a great linebacking unit. You have Dexter Lawrence up in the middle. I think Tibbs, he opened up his practice window or whatever. I don't think he's playing this game. But Azeez, he's doing so well. Everyone in terms of the Giants fan base is like, we need to keep him. And if we didn't trade him just now, then we gotta make whatever. If we could bring him back, I would love him. But besides that, we have Tommy DeVito playing now. So with DeVito, you have to think about what he did last year. Last year with a weaker O-line, less weapons, no neighbors, just all things considered, he's the reason that we got pushed into a spot where we took receiver instead of quarterback last year because of how he came and played. Now give him elite neighbors and give me Brian Daboll with a quarterback that I think he's confident in, that he could open up the playbook with, which is what I think he tried to do this year with Daniel Jones, to kind of show, hey, all this rumblings about me losing my job, look what I'm trying, look what I would do with a quarterback that's able to do things like, I think that flea flicker and him missing Wan'Dale and Neighbors during that flea flicker, that was the end of Daniel Jones. I said from then, that's him done in New York, because the first year, what got you paid, DJ, I mean, you only had 15 touchdowns. You had 5 picks, that was always the knock on DJ, but it was a very conservative, easy offense that he kind of had going. Daboll ends up winning Coach of the Year, and then you get paid because you went crazy in that playoff game. Next year, you're playing like trash. You get hurt, but he won games with 2 different quarterbacks, 3 total. He won a game with you. He won a game with DeVito. He won a game with Tyrod Taylor. And then the one game that Daniel Jones won without before he got hurt, the only game he won as a starter last year, it was a game where Daboll took over the play calling duties in Arizona. And so he took over. We were down like multiple scores, came back and won. And I think this year he wanted to show like, look, we're losing right now, but if he could just make some of these simple plays, if he could get the ball in these receivers' hands where they could get some yak, if they instead of them having to wait and get the ball, and then now it's more of a possession catch, so a tougher catch, throwing it behind them, all that, throwing it too far to him, not getting to your next read, staring down your receiver, like all that, holding the ball too long. DeVito, he's trying to prove himself like, yo, y'all should have never brought Drew Lock in. I should have been QB2 this whole time. He wasn't happy if you saw his pressers during the offseason, which if you're not a Giants fan, you probably won't because who cares, despite the little DeVito shit we had going on. I think he's playing to show that he's that guy. And even though our secondary is weak.
How good do you think that looks, though?
What?
Like, realistically speaking, like, you don't think that that's going to be any kind of disasters?
In terms of what?
Like, in terms of him, like, getting to more than 10 points.
What do you mean getting more to?
Like, how many, like, what do you think, like, what you, because you said it's going to be over 41 or whatever, which is
cool. Yeah, I was getting
like,
to that. So the Bucs secondary is trash. They're ranked 32nd in terms of yards and just overall offense when it comes to getting into receivers. Their secondary is trash. I think Neighbors gets busy. Wandell. Look out for Theo Johnson, rookie tight end. And I think Tracy gets active in terms of his pass catching. They came out and said they want to get him more involved in there, get him the ball in space in that way, because once again, he started his college career as a receiver. He was a receiver for 4 years. So I think in terms of the bag of tricks that Daboll has combined with this weak-ass Bucs secondary, this one goes over. No problem.
Okay, what score? What are you thinking? What is y'all's team total? Do you know?
Our team total. By the way, stop saying 10 points, bro. We don't average no 10 points a game. That's 15.
15.
10 is crazy, bro. It's a 5-point difference. Our team total, shit. I don't even know where to find it here. Picks. Bet type. Where total? I don't know. Can you find it? I mean,
yeah, I'm about to go to where. Let me see. Let me go over here real quick. But yeah, let me see what I saw. Cause my bad. I didn't mean to beat it. Let's see. The Giants are averaging just 10.6 points per game at home in 2024. My apologies. At home, you guys are averaging 10.6 points per game. So
yeah, but that's with DJ. So I'm predicting
right.
I'm predicting Vegas not really believing in the difference between DeVito, and I'm so confused why Locke is getting so much PR about how he came in for his little $5 million, bro. You went in against the Eagles and you look like garbage. Like who cares? If he's outplaying you in practice, he's outplaying you, bro. And if he sucks, you'll get another chance, bro. Stop crying. But yeah. So I like the over at 41, but let me hear it.
Yeah.
Let me hear it in terms of what do you think that the Giants can't get over 20 points?
No, I just think Tampa Bay is going to, like, they're averaging 21 points. You know what I mean? Like, that's what they average. So they're going to probably, if Mike Evans is playing, they'll probably can get to 24, 28, you know what I mean, 30 something.
I think we're playing from behind like early, and DeVito is going to have to do some stuff. And Neighbors is due for a monster game. All his best games is in the beginning of the year.
Yeah, so I just think it's one of those things where it's not necessarily like it's just Tampa Bay is like, yo, we lost a bunch of games that we should have won. We about to get this one. Like, this is them. They're going to try to, like, I'm not saying that they'll do it, but they're going to try to smash y'all like how Detroit's been doing stuff. You know what I mean? And again, you're saying like the over. If like I think that that's a smart look, just because I think that they are kind of baking in the fact that they don't believe that y'all can maybe get to 20 points or something like that. But you know what I mean? That's why I just picked Tampa Bay to just to cover, because I think that they're going to be like, yo, we got Mike Evans back. They can use their running backs against y'all. They can kind of use the running backs in the short passing game against y'all. And then
our run defense, is another weak part of our team.
Right,
so
31st. Right, it's ranked 31st in the league right now. So I just think that with all of that being said, they kind of get out, and yeah, like your man's probably going to do something, but like even if it's 28-14, like that still covers, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean? Like a game like that where maybe Neighbors does do his thing, 85 yards in a tutty, and Damien DeVito doesn't look that bad, but at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? They cover the spread. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, okay. So you're going back to the pick that you were thinking about really putting in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like what I was considering, you know what I mean?
Well, yeah, and that's the reason why I'm not really picking the spread here, because I think the big X factor for this game is Daboll's play calling. I think we see some stuff that we haven't seen from him that he's kind of been withholding, because it's like, man, this kid isn't going to be able to do that. And when I did try to do it, Wan'Dale's throwing a fit because he was open. Neighbors keeping the anger held within him because he was open as well. It wasn't a bad play call. It was a bad execution. So give me this over. 2 terrible secondaries, two really good rookie running backs, and then they still have Rachaad White. I mean, I just think weapons wise, and then Mike Evans, he's probably going to go for like 150. He's probably going to go for like 150 this game. I would take the over on his yards, because I do think, like, we're human, bro. So you think he doesn't know, like, I need to get back to my 1,000. I want 1,000 this year, regardless. So, and if I hit 1,000, that probably puts us in the position where we did win the division anyway.
Right. And I got something on that at the end of the show. I got something for somebody that's on their way to 1,000 yards.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And then my last game, this is my lock. Give me the Panthers to cover that 11. The Chiefs just don't be covering these big spreads. I mean, I think this is pretty crazy. They don't cover spreads. They play with their food. I might take the Panthers money line first half, or that's going to be my favorite part. Like, if I could, or with what I probably do, is I'll take the Panthers to cover in 2 different parlays, one first half and another one total, and just double dip in that, because I think the Panthers are playing well. I think they're playing with house money because the sentiment on Bryce Young is so down. And then Adam Thielen might make his return, but even if he doesn't, these young pass catchers between Leggett, Sanders, they got another one. What's his name? Let's
Coker.
just bring it up. Yeah, Coker. 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 He's been doing his thing. Jalen Coker didn't even got his picture up, but he's been killing it. And then Chuba, of course. I think this Chiefs defense it's great because Spags is a great defensive mind, but I think it's a little bit overrated. I think the Panthers, I think they cover this one with ease. And this is another one I'd add to my teaser and bring that up to like 17, 18. Shit. I'll take a prime Chief. I would take that Joe Burrow LSU team to cover against a prime Chiefs if it was at 11.
All right. Hey,
just because they're not covering this 11, bro. It's not the type of team they are. And like I said, like sometimes they start slow, and if they don't, it kind of always feels like they're in control of the game. Like it's not in doubt. We saw that even with the voodoo that happened in that Bears game. They were due for that Bills loss, but not Bears, Broncos, where they blocked the kick at the end. I think this is a spot where people like to pick at the Chiefs in the regular season if there's any signs of weakness. And I wouldn't be surprised, hey, sprinkle a little Panthers, put a little, like, that's value right there. Panthers, take the Bears to cover to beat the Vikings at home potentially. They're kind of due for an upset win. And shit, maybe take the Cowboys. Fuck it.
Mhm.
That's what is that? Plus like 3,000. So,
Probably.
but yeah, like just to keep it serious and get back to reality. Chiefs just don't be covering these, man. And the Panthers been playing well, like what I'm seeing from Bryce Young. And that defense isn't playing bad itself. I do think Kareem Hunt has a big day today, though, because that's the way they attack this Panthers defense. They did lose their arguably the best player on the team in Derek Brown. So earlier in the season. So yeah, that's what I got for that. What do you think about that? You think they cover that? You think the Chiefs cover that 11, 10 and a half, whatever it's at now?
I mean, it's just one of those things where it's so much irony, like in people saying this, that I feel like this is the week where they try to actually smash a team out. Just because they've like probably been hearing people say like, oh, they're not going to cover the 11 against the Carolina Panthers. Da, da, da. I just think that like, you know what I mean. Sometimes when it looks like such a lock, like this would just be the one time where the Chiefs decide like, oh, we're going to score 42 points.
Hey, bring up your little betting thing. Let's see what's the money at for this game.
Let's see. $51, 50-50. Like that's kind of wild to me, honestly, that the Chiefs are 50-50. Like that's kind of crazy, man. That's what I'm saying. Like this would be the one time where they're like, nah, we about to bust them.
That would be funny. But this is one of them picks where I lose. This is a leg in my parlay that doesn't hit, and I'm not mad at it because there's nothing that you could do to convince me today that they cover it. And what am I supposed to do? Okay, they covered this time. Fucking the science was there.
But my prop of the week. Well, I got a few props of the week, but my like actual lock, I guess I would consider that I'm going to. I mean, I'm gonna bet this by itself too, like just in case it doesn't. The parlay doesn't hurt. Okay, so Justin Jefferson needs 88 yards to have 1,000 yards on the season, right? And he has a record. He's recorded a league high of 599 receiving yards against single high safety coverage this year, averaging 4.2 yards per route run. And then basically the Bears defense has deployed single high safety coverage at the 5th highest rate, generating the 4th highest defensive success rate when doing so. So what I'm betting against is that Justin Jefferson is able to go off on these motherfuckers and get to 88 yards, so that get over 88 yards so that he has 1,000 yards on the season. I think he tries to get to 1,000 yards on the season against the Chicago Bears. And let's see what happens.
Bears.
Oh, he hasn't played the Bears yet this year. So yeah, I got him. I just got him going over on this one right here. I don't know what's going to happen in the game, but I just know that like incentive is so close to him that kind of like what you were saying about Mike Evans, like he wants to get to 1,000 yards. I know that he's feeling like, all right, bet I'm about to get over 1,000 yards this week. With 7 games left to go. Bet I'm about to try to get to 1,500 yards. You know what I mean? 14.
Yeah, let's knock it out right here, and then receiving leaders. Let's look at what that's shaping up. That should be pretty interesting. It's his boy Jamar Chase. So I like it more now that I see that Jamar Chase is leading, because that's funny. That's funny.
Yeah.
That's funny because obviously they have their friendly little competition. Who's the best? Who should be paid more? Who's the better LSU receiver?
The other wide receiver I would go with for 70 yards would be Nico Collins. I would go with Nico Collins for 70 yards.
He's due.
And he's covered this. He's actually covered this in all of his games, and he would have covered it last week, but he kind of got hold on the first game and played the game, so he wasn't able to.
There was another play that got taken back where he could have hit that 70 total.
But when he's healthy, he can cover this. So I mean, even the game where he got injured in, he covered. So I got him right there. Again, I'm buying a few points because I'm getting it at 70. And the second guy I'm adding to that are the other two I'm considering for having big games. I'm gonna probably have some ladders on them. Are in this Baltimore Ravens game. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna run with AJ Brown, and I'm gonna run with Puka. I'm doing two ladders. I'm gonna do one with AJ Brown. See, damn, it's just all the way up to 90 now. I should have bet it earlier, but yeah, I got AJ Brown doing his thing in this one, and then I got Puka two doing his thing, smashing the 70. Like if he, I mean, when him and Stafford are healthy, like he does his thing. So you know what I mean. He got injected in this game right here, and I think he got injured in this game.
Oh yeah,
So
that shit lost me that week in fantasy. Single guard using
yeah,
the UFC, fucking annoying.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
So he,
cool. I think that's going to be a dope matchup to watch. Is these Rams pass catchers against these rookie corners over there in Philly.
yeah. So, but yeah, that's all for me. That's all I got. There's a few of my plays. Some of the reasons why. Oh, also, I guess if you want to, in this game, Saquon Barkley has like literally had one of the best seasons like in like this past decade, like over the past decade. He leads the NFL with a career high 113 rushing yards per game and 134 scrimmage yards per game. And that would make him the third player in the Super Bowl era to lead the NFL in scrimmage yards in his first season with a team. But then also he's generated 309 rushing yards over expected in the second half of games this season, and that's the most in the NFL and the most by any player through the first 11 weeks of his season since 2018. So if you want to do a Saquon Barkley plus 100 total, you know what I mean, yards or whatever, that wouldn't be a bad play.
That makes me think about doing his second half because it does come down to the fact that these defenses are more tired in that second half, and it's getting tougher to tackle a Barkley or a Henry, and they kind of pop off in that second half.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, that's smooth. I like those. Appreciate that, man. I feel like I just, I pulled up a YouTube video and listened to some data with some good player props and shit. So, like, shit. All right. Cool, 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 cool. Yeah, man. I'm liking the plays. So, just to summarize once again, I'm taking the Cardinals to win outright. That's my like. My love is the Giants over. I'm gonna check. Make sure you check the weather though. If it's too windy or whatever, that might affect some stuff. But I think both these teams are going to get busy on offense. To me, and then the Panthers to cover that 11 or 10 and a half, which I feel like is where it's going to end before the game.
Mhm.
But yeah, and then what were your picks again?
My picks were the Denver Broncos to go over here, for Indianapolis Colts for Detroit to cover, and then San Francisco 49ers plus 5.5. I just kind of like the value on the play still, even without Brock Purdy. You know what I mean? And then also I did a little sprinkle on Dallas to have this be a close game, tough game, cover the 10.5. Just a lot of factors and data that goes into it that kind of shows that this just might be too many points for this team right now. And Dallas is a healthier team than they were at the beginning of the year. So this line has them baked when they didn't have a Micah Parsons and they didn't have a Deron Bland, and a bunch of
Is Fergie out for this one?
yeah, he's out. But I mean, that's the thing. I don't know if we're going to score. You know what I'm saying? But I know that we can play some defense. And we also had Zach Martin that's not playing. I don't know. I think Tyler Smith wants to play, but again, if you got 2 offensive linemen out with a backup quarterback, you're not getting much from your passing game. So I hope we just have a run heavy offense, and you know what I mean. Just weigh on them, play some tough defense, kick 6 field goals. Brandon Aubrey owners, congratulations, he wins you the week, and yeah, you know what I mean. Cowboys cover.
All right, cool. Cool, cool. Hey, I was looking at Damn, that shit opened up at 2.5. It's so funny seeing how some of these open up because I was looking at your Broncos pick and it's like, damn, if you grab that early, confident, and you could have that in -3. That would have been dope.
Yeah, would have been nice. Definitely would have been nice. But I mean, even still, you're getting value at the 6. So you know what I mean? Like this is something that I'm not even gonna play with. Like I'm honestly putting that in second we get finished.
I think what I'm gonna start doing is I'm gonna sprinkle a little money line on all the teams that I need to win for the Giants to get a better pick. Or take them to well, actually if they don't cover. Yeah, I guess that's double dipping. I'm gonna still do it though. I'm gonna take the Raiders money line. I think I'm gonna take the Panthers money line. Long
Yeah.
shots, but if it hits, I'm like extremely rejoiced.
I mean, if you feel that way, maybe go ahead and take Chicago. You know what I mean? Just take.
Oh yeah, they're definitely in the mix too. They're definitely in the mix too. I think the Vikings are just due, and a lot of times I'm just looking at these teams' records. So would it be surprising if the Chiefs end up being 9-2 and the Vikings are 8-3? They're still in a great position, playoff seeding wise. So
Yeah, but yeah.
all right, that's it. It's a longer one, but it was worth it with all the data and all the trends that Austin brought here. And, you know, he gave you out a little bonus pick. He's been on the money with all his Cowboy takes like the past couple weeks. This time he's going the other way against the Commandos. But, yeah, man, unless you got anything else, I mean, last prop, got it. That's a bet. That's that for that. Matter of fact, like, love, lock. Let's get this money, man. And like and subscribe. I'll find you.